Basketball isn't easy. All my life, I've been striving to make myself better. It's a full-time commitment. To be the best, you have to work the hardest. You have to chase what seems impossible over and over and over again. Because giving up is not an option. And when you feel like you've reached your limit, it's only the beginning. That's when it's time to dig deep, to find the courage to push some more. Because if you got the drive, the discipline, and the resolve to do what it takes to make yourself great, then the rewards are endless.
To always do it for the love, no matter what it is, and work hard. It may sound cliche, but hard work really does pay off in whatever you do, and that's the motto I use. So you set small goals and try to reach them, and then that's when big goals start to come around, and before you know it, you're gonna start to rise on the totem pole. It was kind of tough knowing that sometimes I would work so hard than everybody else, and I wasn't reaping the benefits of it, and I wasn't getting any better as quickly as I wanted to, but I stayed patient, and that was one big thing for me, is knowing when to stay patient, that everything's gonna come around. And I think that, with that patience I gained as a kid, is helping me in the NBA right now. So, for me, it's just, always working hard and always trying to get better, and knowing that I can get better, knowing that, I'm not there where I want to be yet. So. I have a long ways to go.
To me, do it for yourself is really standing up for yourself and what you believe in, and just doing it. And if that's something that you've always dreamt of doing, you've always dreamt of, being a doctor, do it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. Believe in yourself. And I always say there's going to be so many people that's not going to believe in you and try to hold you back from your dreams. But I believe that it's really so important to do everything in your life for you. And I think ultimately you get the best results that way.
If you believe in what you do and keep doing it, when I was young, I had a lot of people telling me, you have to adjust to the other ones. You have to be like the other ones. I was listening, but I wasn't always following. I dragged it in, I was listening, but I did my own thing. I kept doing my own thing, and I believed in myself. What was like the question there, like, they judge you even before you come, and they don't even know you. And that was outside the pitch and inside the pitch. But I kept going, and it brought me where I am today. Confidence and believe in what you do. I think that is the goal target. If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the mentality. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. And I said to myself, I will do it, and I will do it better. I try to, when I do something, want to be the best. I will not be happy being the second, third, or the fourth. My inspiration is that above everybody else, and that's in everything I do, in my project like this, in my football. And another thing, whatever everybody else says is not important. So if they tell you you're best, it's not important. The important is that you say you're the best.
What do you feel separates good athletes from the best athletes?
I think it comes back to what I was saying earlier about, I think a lot of it is mental. If you want to do something and you want it that bad, you'll make sacrifices. And, growing up for me as a kid, I made a lot of sacrifices that I didn't seem that they were a big deal, and I don't think of them as being a big deal right now. There were Saturdays or Fridays where, I'd give up going to a dance or hanging out with my friends because I had workout the next day. But those things that I gave up, were things that I wanted to help me get to my goal. And there were times where I've been put in uncomfortable situations, but I've used my mental power, my mental strength to push through it. I think that's how you can look at any of the athletes in the world. Tiger, the guy has a busted knee and still comes and destroys the rest of the field. That's the thing. It's like people don't make excuses. some of the best athletes or the greatest athletes in the world do things when they're uncomfortable. Everybody can compete when they're feeling good, happy, excited, rested, but it's the best people who can overcome when they're tired, sore, not in the great mind, not in the best mindset. And I think mental power that the greatest athletes have can push all the pain aside. And I mean, like when I was doing that Navy SEALs thing, was it easy for me to do it? No. Was it easy for me to climb over a 45-foot wall and look down? Not at all, and I'm afraid of heights. But, I said to myself, I'm going to do this and no one's going to stop me. And I think that's the biggest thing, is how strong you can be mentally. I think that really shows who the person is. So I think that's one thing that separates the good from the greatest.
One of the things my dad always taught me is that if you put a lot of effort into it, you're going to get results. But if you don't put any effort into it, you're not going to get any results out of it, but more importantly, you don't deserve any results. So I figured out what you put into it. And one of the things that my dad always did when I was growing up, he always kept it competitive and fun. And I love to compete, so he kind of just always fed upon that. And my whole goal, my entire childhood, was to try and beat my dad.
As a father, he gave him a lot of advice, like, for example, you never think you are the best. You never think you know everything. No. Sometimes I come to talk with him. No, I know this. I did already. No, I practice. You practice. How many time you give a ball control? No, I give a lot. I give 50. Say, okay, let's give him more 50. Let's see. Then always he said, never think you are the best. Never think you know everything. No, that's what the help of my father is me. And I always respect the people, always respect your opponent. Then that's I get this from him.
What do you attribute most to your success on the playing field?
I think it was one of the most important reason to get to where I get was just because my father always he treated me like one of his not with his son, one of his friend who he want to help, not with his son, because a lot of time I say if he was with another boy he don't exist so many like with me. And then I think this was the great part of my father.
Be realistic, really, because when you play in academy, you can do stuff that you can do with the pros. So I remember fairly quickly, I was lucky my dad played. So I remember my first training in the first team, my dad told me, he said, don't think about doing skills, score goals. That's the only thing you have to do. And that's what I did that day. And because of that, the next day they asked me again to come. Did the same, they asked me again to come. And then that's it. You have to be realistic. In the position that you play, keep to your task. If you're a winger, deliver balls in the box. Good quality balls. Just play in function of your position. Keep it simple. You're a striker, you're there to score goals, you're not there to nutmeg 10 people, do step overs and flip-flops and all that. No. If you can, in a 1v1 and have a finish after it, brilliant. If you can, just focus on your task and score goals. And it helped me. It sounds old school, but it's the truth. It's the truth. That's what people want, really. People want goals and assists. So that's what I did, like when I was 16, or when I was 15, training in the first team. And it helped me.
When I'm 12 years old, most of the people told me, Cristiano, you are a very, very good talent player, but you are very skinny, very slim. And I put it in my mind, the body we can improve. We can improve. You go to gym, dedication and hard work, you can improve. So I improve myself. Athleticism means a lot. For me, I think the small details in the hands gonna make a huge difference to compare with the other players. So I think it's very important to do this kind of work and I think it's going well on me. This is why I'm in good shape almost all the year, and I want to carry on like that because it's helped me a lot. It's part of me. I'm not doing that kind of work because I have to. It's because it's part of me.
You know, it starts very locally and so forth, and you move on and on and on, and you have to prove yourself time and time again, and that pressure can definitely weigh on you. You lose the fun goes away sometimes, just because instead of now it being this lifelong dream you've had of wanting just to enjoy yourself and play tennis like your heroes used to.
Yeah.
Now people sort of expect you to win, like losing in the quarterfinals, which was a dream 5 years ago, now is like a disaster. It changes the mindset of you as a player and as a professional athlete, and that's where I always try to remember, well, you know what, as long as I enjoy what I'm doing, I train hard, I have no regrets, and all I can do is give my best, then it's going to be fine, regardless of the outcome.
How did you get to a point where you could have that kind of perspective in your career?
Took me a while, to be honest. I was very emotional when I was younger, so I think by the age of 22 maybe, I thought 25 maybe, I'd say even, I was like, okay, losing is fine, you know, but I think that only came because I won that much all of a sudden. So I knew that those wins nobody could take away from me. That's sort of in the vault, and that's good to have, good to know, and now you have to just prove yourself every single day, and everything that comes is like a bonus. So I've been on this bonus trip since a long time, and playing this way has been actually much more enjoyable, even though, you know, chasing records and playing against the other top guys and has also created its own pressure, you know, but a different one than when you're up and coming and trying to make the breakthrough. It's quite challenging, and especially you're young and you're emotional, it's quite difficult.
I have a, how do you say, I have a lot of responsibility for what I have been created. These years I've been playing football. I see myself as a role model for the people that is coming from these kind of areas, but not only there, all over in Sweden. And I think the key is to be yourself. I've been myself since day one. I didn't change for nothing. When I got a big contract, I didn't change. When I became more popular, I didn't change. When I came to a bigger club, I didn't change. And I'm sitting here and I'm the same person when you see the pictures here around the stadium with me. Exactly the same person. The only thing is I am 34 today, and there I don't remember. I was young then, let's say. And and in every moment I try to be myself, and that is the example they should take after. Even if you're different, you have a different background, not an easy, let's say, environment, you can still make it. Whatever you do, you can still make it. And I am a living example on that.